Bonjour mes amis, aujourd'hui on parle du passé composé avec le verbe être. So we have the past few weeks talked about the passé composé using avoir as our auxiliary, right? And you have j'ai mangé, tu as fini, nous avons entendu, and you memorize the past participles, right? Now, I'm here to tell you that there is a second possible auxiliary you could use for the passé composé, and that is être. So, je suis. Je suis allé, for example. So again, you have two parts, composed of two parts. Tu es sorti. Il est descendu. So similar to passé composé with avoir, but you're using être. So when do you use être? I will say that 90% of the time you will use avoir, but there is a small group of verbs that take être in the passé composé. And if you're a visual learner, this is a good image to memorize. They all happen to be verbs of movement. So people coming, going up, going down, falling. So let's look at this. Arriver, entrer, rentrer means to go home. Retourner, revenir. Venir means to come. Revenir is to come again. And then to leave. Aller is to go. Partir is to leave. Sortir is to go out. So tomber, to fall down. Passer is just to pass. Monter is to climb or go up. Descendre, to go down. And then this is kind of an outlier. Rester. I don't know what the cat's doing up there, but the cat is staying on the roof, apparently. Rester means to stay. And then to die, to live and to die, to be born, sorry, and to die are, think of that as coming into the world and going out of the world. I won't test you on these verbs. So here are the verbs again and what they mean. Aller, arriver, devenir, entrer, partir, passer. You'll become familiar with these. A few of them are irregular, maybe new to you. So the ER verbs, the past participle is our familiar E with an accent aigu. All of these should be familiar. We talked about rentrer means to come home. Tomber is to fall. Monter is to climb. Our only RE verb here, descendre, becomes descendu. And then we have these irregular verbs, venir, to come. Devenir is to become, Revenir is to come again. And those are all similar past participles. Sortir, to go out. Partir, to leave. Aller, our old friend aller, to go. So there is just kind of a strange thing that happens when you use passé composé with être. And that is we're going to add agreement to the past participle. So just like you add agreement to a verb, you say il est beau, elle est belle, il est content, elle est contente, right? Nous sommes contents with an S, for example. You're going to do that here, but at the end of the past participle, you're going to add an E and or an S based on the subject of the sentence. So, je suis allé au parc. I went to the park. That might need an extra E depending on whether the je is masculine or feminine. Tu es allé au parc, same, depending on whether the tu is masculine or feminine. Il est allé is always going to be masculine singular. Elle est allée, always going to be feminine singular. Add one E to the end. Nous sommes allés will always have an S because nous is always plural, but it might have an E as well if the group that you're in is all female. Vous êtes allés. Remember, vous can be singular or plural, male or female, so that really depends on who you're talking to. Ils sont allés, just have an S. Elles sont allées has an ES. So here are some examples. Il est rentré, elle est rentrée with a double E. Je suis devenu, nous sommes devenus, tu es resté, Ils sont restés. Elle est montée, double E. Vous êtes monté, which could have an extra E and or S. Il est venu. Elles sont venues. Nous sommes partis. Tu es parti. So tell me, do I need agreement in these sentences? So I'm talking to a male friend. I said, tu es allé à la plage. Do I need agreement? No. How about talking to my sisters, plural? Vous êtes arrivés. Yes, you need ES. How about talking about myself and I identify as female? Je suis partie. I would have an E there. Talking about a group of friends, a group of male friends, or it could be male and female. Nous sommes restés would need an S. Sur le campus. So we stayed on campus. Talking about a TV program, which happens to be feminine. L'émission est devenue, with an E, bizarre. The show became strange. Talking about magazines, les revues sont féminins. So les revues ne sont pas arrivées with an ES. They did not arrive. So let's practice. Paul allait, how to say Paul went. Paul est allé. Paul est allé. You have the liaison because it's in front of a vowel. Est allé. Mes frères sont arrivés. Are you going to put an S there? Absolutely. Mes frères sont arrivés. Pause the PowerPoint so you can write these out. Nous entrés. Nous sommes entrés with an S. But it could also be, if it's a group of women, nous sommes entrés with an ES. Talk about me and my sisters, for example. Vous partir. So, vous êtes partis with nothing on the end. If I'm talking, for example, to a male professor, vous êtes parti. Say I'm talking to a female professor. Vous êtes parti. Say I'm talking to a group of friends. Vous êtes parti with ES if it's a group of female friends. So just think about it the way you think of adjective agreement. And this is only in passé composé with être. Merci beaucoup, mes amis. Au revoir.